single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's The Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A beautiful day today with sunshine coming out in full force and temperatures getting in the mid to upper 40s. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the 20s. Could see some patchy fog going into Friday morning. Otherwise, expected to be very sunny throughout the day and mild as highs soar into the mid to upper 50s with breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
I was talking to NFL Films legend Greg Cosell yesterday, and he was early in his kind of scout of the draft in terms of, who to look at. He'd been through 12 receivers. He had Carnell Tate number 1. By the way, that was the overwhelming. For all of this talk of I don't know what to make of these receivers, there wasn't a single analyst that I talked to, NFL draft analyst I talked to, that did not have him number 1 or 2. Number 1 or 2. Now, there were some people that liked Tyson, but worried about the injury stuff. But everybody, that was the only one that didn't have Carnell number 1. There was a guy that had Tyson 2. I'm trying to remember who it was. But everybody else had Carnell Tate number 1 as the number 1 receiver. Now, then you'd follow up and say, well, how is he juxtaposed to Tet McMillan? And then this is what drives me nuts about the Combine. Everybody would say, oh, I love Tet McMillan. Well, I was at the Combine last year.
I don't remember
that. And I asked you about receivers. And I don't remember everybody pounding their chest going, oh, you got to take Tet McMillan at 2. No one was doing that. But who's checking them on any of it, right? The reality is nobody is. So every single person, well, I love Tet McMillan. Oh, really? Are we sure? Like, we have the audio. We can go look at it and see if you really did. But a lot of consensus around Carnell Tate. But back to the Cosell story. So he said, well, I 12 receivers. I got some of the quarterbacks. And he goes, I'll be honest. He goes, I just kind of did film on the guys that I thought I would be asked. So I just watched all the Ohio State guys. So he watched all of our guys. He had Carnell number 1 as well as number 1 receiver. Loved Sonny. Loved Caleb Downs. And the reality is that you're going to have 5 Buckeyes go in the first round. You could have as many as 3 you could have 4 in the top 10. I mean, you really could.
Kuiper had 4 in the top 7.
Yeah. So he had Caleb 2. So he had Caleb 2. He had Carnell 6.
Arvell 4 to the Titans. Carnell to the Browns at 6, and Sonny 7 to the Commanders.
Yeah, I think you guys asked me this yesterday, and I think that was one of my very biggest takeaways is that Sonny Styles has, in just showing up over there, I was telling Fish this, I don't think people realize how big, he's big on film, but until you see him and Arvell in person, they look like DNs. I mean, they look like old defensive ends. They're not that much smaller than Chase Young. And you see them and you're like, well, those DNs? Oh, no, those are linebackers. Those are linebackers. And so Sonny is one of those guys. He's kind of just the way he's handled his business, like people seeing him in person, a lot of momentum for him. And it feels like he's kind of played himself into that conversation with Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Love as sure things who play non-sure thing positions in terms of drafting in the top 10. Like, you don't draft off-ball linebackers in the top 10. You rarely draft running backs in the top 10. Rarely draft safeties in the top 10. But that's kind of what this draft is going to elicit.
It feels like you don't need to overthink it. If that's a position you need, if you need a defender, if you need a guy to go get the football, Sonny, Arvell are guys that if you don't have the option to take, then but if you have the option to take, you take them.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to be doing workouts starting at 7 o'clock. It's really late when they do defensive line and linebacker drills. Like Caden McDonald, he was scheduled at 3 o'clock, but he's going to wait till Ohio State's Pro Day on March 25th. But it looks like Arvell and Sonny tonight at 7 for their workouts. Reese is going to be doing defensive lineman and linebacker drills. I mean, that versatility is going to make him a ton of money, and it's going to show NFL scouts, talent evaluators, and just the NFL general what we've all seen from him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I kept getting on Arvell was that he's, like 80, 95, 90% of Micah Parsons.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and to your point, this draft is not as good as last year's. It's not as good as the draft that's coming next year. Okay, fine. I always caution that because I was over there last year and everybody said, wait till this year on quarterbacks. Wait till Klubnik and Haller and Nussmeier. They're going to have 3 quarterbacks in the top 10.
You can't do anything about next year's draft. You can't do anything about last year's draft. You just have the one in front of you.
That's all you can do. And so no one is going to trade out of 27 to get more picks in 26. Like, you won't see that.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a very quiet first round in terms of movement. So when people will say about the Browns, well, they should move out of 6 and drop to 12 and, still get one of those receivers and get a tackle.
Carnell Tate. Come on, if he's there at 6.
I'm with you. I'm just like, don't think about this. You have to draft somebody. You're sitting there at 6. What is a sure thing? Now, it's Benjamin Solak talking to him yesterday with ESPN, and he was like, he had Carnell Tate number 1 of his receivers, but he also said, if Caleb Downs is there at 6, just go take Caleb Downs.
Okay.
Like, take him at 5, take him at 6, take him anywhere. Like, just draft him at 6. Now, if you're from the Browns' perspective, you're like, geez, now he's kind of that's the safety position's kind of the one that they would make sense to play him as like the single back safety, and then Delpit can move in and play in the box a little bit. Like, they have the personnel where that would be needed, but they really need weaponry and they really need offensive line play in the terms of you could have 13 new people on that side of the ball for them. So those are the discussions you have to make. But yes, you have to draft somebody. It's no one's fault that this class maybe isn't as good as last year's, but you still have to draft somebody at 6. You got to draft somebody at 2.
You can't just say.
Yeah, you got to pick somebody.
We'll punt on this year.
I will never understand the not taking the best player available unless you have glaring needs. Like, I think the worst thing that could ever happen to the Cleveland Browns, and it's probably not a worst thing, but if you're sitting there at 6 and both Caleb and Carnell are on the board.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm going to be like, take the best player.
Yes.
But the Browns obviously have glaring needs on offensive line and wide receiver.
Yes.
So you're going to have people there to pick. So if the Browns would pass on Caleb Downs and take Carnell Tate, I don't think I'd be too upset.
Yeah.
What I would think I would be upset with is if I was another team before the Browns and I passed on Caleb Downs and this ends up being the best player in the draft. Like, I don't get that, the position thing. Like, unless you have Saquon Barkley,
yep,
and you're picking in the top 10, I don't see a problem with you taking Jeremiah Love because he's going to be a really good player, probably. Yeah. We don't know for sure, but we think he's going to be a really good player. He has a lot of that. Sonny Styles.
Yeah, Sonny's going to be.
Maybe it's not sexy. Who cares? I want to win. Mason Graham's not a sexy pick, but I think that's going to work out really well for the Cleveland Browns.
You have to have you just have to have, somebody said this, might have been Jeremiah, you need to have 10 or 12, in order to be good, you need to have 10 or 12 great football players. And it doesn't really matter where they are.
Yeah.
So you just need that minimum requirement. And so that's why I think in this draft especially, Sonny Styles, who, by the way, came back, got better, improved his draft stock. He went from a guy, I remember Threes telling him, and Sonny retold this story over there, you're going to be a first-round pick at linebacker. Think of the faith that the Styles family put in James to get him there, and that combination would work. Because off-ball linebacker, first-round pick? Yeah. Sure.
Think of that.
And that's what's going to happen.
Think of that monster playing safety.
Oh, God.
No, I know he's gotten bigger since he made the transition and whatnot, but oh, my goodness.
I told the story to several of them about him in that state championship game against Centerville against two Mr. Ohioans. Devin was on the court. Gabe Cupps was on the court. Pick Central won the game. He was a junior. Didn't even play his senior year. And he basically played bully ball for the last 2.5 minutes and played keep away by himself and was the best player on the court.
I feel bad for like those little 5'8" wide receivers that played against him in football.
Oh, God.
Like, good luck coming across the middle.
Jeez.
There's Sonny Styles.
That amount of talent at
There
Pick
might be a
Central
video
was
out
nuts.
there of him absolutely just putting someone into the dirt, like into the earth's core.
Yeah.
He planted this poor kid from Northeast Ohio.
He was one of those cats that you saw. Yeah, it was well known. On saying, so asked a lot of folks about Julian because obviously you watch Carnell, you're watching Julian. So I asked around a little bit about Julian, and I'm going to tell you this. I think that if the most eyes in the NFL, if most of the eyes are on Texas because of Arch and because of Coleman, and a lot of people kept saying Arch would have been number one in this draft. I'm like, wow. I know he played well in the last 3 or 4 games, but the first half of the season was a mess. But a lot of people said if he was in this draft, he'd go number 1 overall. So outside of Texas, most eyes are going to be here. They're going to be on 4, who everybody knows is going to be the best player in this draft. And there was a wide opinion on Julian, really a wide opinion on him. I heard, he's Drew Brees. Oh, okay. Well, gold jacket, all of that.
A little taller, I think.
Yeah, he is a little taller. Yeah. Did get some Bryce Young stuff with him. I got some with Julian at times. If it's not clean, I mean, all the stuff we saw, if it's not clean at times, he gets a little uncomfortable, all of that. He was in his first year as a starter. But I'll tell you this, the league loves the accuracy. They love the processing. They love all of those things. So I think it's going to be a massive year for him. And I think that to the surprise of nobody, the NFL is going to be around all year paying attention to these Buckeye guys. And I think Julian's going to be in the center.
I am sure it wasn't lost on any of them now who's going to be his new coordinator. Right?
No,
and I'm
for
sure having Jeremiah Smith back for him as well, having a 1,000-yard running back, like everything gets unlocked now for Julian. Everything was the first time for him last season.
Yeah.
That's why I keep going to anybody who, I get the Arch Manning hype, but I feel like we've seen enough from him already to be like, he's great. But is he like you're going to put that generational label on Arch Manning? I'm just not ready to do that. Julian is great, and I think can earn that generational tag when he gets into year 2, and not every week we're doing, this is the first time for Julian. Let's see what happens. Because when we did that last year, all but 2 games, and those 2 teams were the national champion and the runner-up to the national champion. They were, past that with flying colors.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I would say to you on that, Reese, is for the most part, it was the first time for Arch, too.
Yeah.
And Arch is a little bit bigger and has shown more of an ability or a willingness to run the football. And I don't know.
He's older, too. He's older.
I think Sayan's a better passer of the football than Arch, for sure. But we know there's more that goes into it than that.
Yeah. All right, Paul Finebaum in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Getting cold feet? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save $1 each when you buy 5 or more select items during our Buy More, Save More event. Save on Oreos, General Mills cereal, and more with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum.
Indeed it is. He joins every single week at this time on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I think I've asked you this every year at this time. You ever been to the NFL Scouting Combine? Any value in it for you?
I watched it, but I've never been. Indianapolis in the wintertime, not one of my favorite places.
Me either, brother. You and I have that in common. I did have a bit of an epiphany yesterday. Not that it was anything that I thought was possible, but I was talking to an assistant general manager in the National Football League, and I had asked him a question about NIL and free transfer, and he kind of lit up. And then he went on to say, and I'll Reader's Digest it for you, hey, man, we love this. Now, as opposed to talking to one coach about a player, sometimes we can talk to 2 and 3 head coaches about a player. Instead of being curious about how they're going to handle money when they get it for the first time, we already see it. In terms of their hangers-on, now we already know. Are they a pain in the neck? Are they bringing a video crew around? We know all this stuff. As I'm sitting here talking to this guy, Paul, I'm listening, I'm thinking, my God, this is the chaos in college football is the best thing that ever happened to the NFL. They now have more data points. So if you think the NFL, not that I ever thought or you ever thought they were going to come save anybody, no. It's further from that than ever. They've never been more pleased with the college model.
Yeah, that's really fascinating, and I've never thought about that. And it also makes what Roger Goodell said 3 weeks ago just completely ridiculous, where he said, "Oh yeah, we'd like to work with college football." No, they wouldn't. I mean, that train has passed, and it's a novel idea. And by the way, they should enjoy it because it's not as if anyone in college is doing anything to make it better. I know they talk a big game and they say what they don't like, and a number of them were also in Washington this week for the 8 billionth time since we started talking. But it's a fascinating concept, and I'm so glad that the dysfunctionality of college football is making the NFL better.
Now, I did get the sense that the NFL would be open to working with college football on December. Like, I think if college football was willing to pay to have a conversation, if you could ever get organized, and we know that that's the if that never happens, but would the NFL open up some of those Saturdays potentially for college football? Talking to some folks around there that maybe they would if college football would just get out of January altogether. So maybe there's a little bit of give there, but even with this latest thing, with this SEC Big Ten pooling media rights, like, they're just always in their own way, and anytime there's a step forward to Paul, it seems like there's 7 steps back on anything.
Yeah, and I think this is in reaction to what's happening in the outer limits of college football, and that's this private equity plan, which is really a good one. I've talked to a few of these fat cats, and they essentially want to take over scheduling and take over the management. And Bo, when you talk to them, they make a lot of sense. Instead of just stacking, I can't remember which weekend it is in November this year. You have about 3 major Big Ten games. You have 2 SEC games. I mean, if you broke that down a little bit, you could spread it out, as opposed to some weekends we literally have no quality games.
Oh, no, I think about that when you guys go on the road for your SEC show, or when game day's at a game, and I'm like, really, this is the best we can do. But again, this goes to something that is really fundamental and at the root of so many of these problems. Nobody in this sport really wants to work together. They're only out for their own good without ever thinking about how it could affect the greater common good.
I was at least glad to see that Sankey and Petiti, brothers in crime, agree on one thing. And what they agree on, Bo, is they don't want Cody Campbell anywhere near them, the Texas Tech booster, who, I've heard some SEC and SEC people, and I'm sure you've heard Big Ten people, let's make sure we stop this guy because he is close to the private equity people. Yeah. And I promise you, and maybe you've already done it, if you brought some of these people on, your audience would be nodding their head going, this makes a lot of sense. Put real professionals in charge. And right now, we essentially have the federal government trying to solve the issue.
Oh, and as you and I have talked a million times, there's no end to it. The thing that I think is going to be really fascinating, and we're dealing with it up here, Ohio State's trying to renovate the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, which is where the football team spends its time. And, in the old days, if your facility was an A++, you'd snap your fingers and all of a sudden it would be. But now that money is also paying NIL because it's all the same booster pool. And that's the thing that I think where the rubber will meet the road on all of this is how these athletic directors try to find a way to pay for all of this stuff while also having these boosters pay for these rosters. To me, that's the one thing that could stop it is the boosters themselves.
Yeah, and I think in some places it is happening. And, I know every time you hear that of an Indiana story, you hear of others where the boosters are saying, you know what, I'm getting nothing for this. A lot of the boosters over the years, they don't mind seeing their name on the library or the engineering building, but they're not getting any residual. They're not even, by the way, getting a thank you from these players who take the money and then the next year they're off to the next place. That's
a great point you made on the end. I've heard that a lot in the last 6 months of just booster fatigue and just the lack of gratitude. Almost like, well, wait, I didn't even get to meet this kid. I gave him $500,000. Like that type of stuff that's happening is absolutely nuts. What do you make, if anything, of this Sorsby lawsuit that Cincinnati filed, Southern District of Ohio, looking for $1 million back? Speaking of Cody Campbell, he ends up at Texas Tech, reportedly $5-6 million, something like that. Now, we've seen the threat of this at Washington, and it got Damon Williams to stay at Washington. And my hunch is the Big Ten helped a little bit with Washington on that. I'm very curious what happens with this Sorsby. What is kind of your thought on how this could play out?
Yeah, right now you're being held hostage by whatever district or jurisdiction you're in. So it could, and really one of these cases is going to tip the next. A lot of these judges don't want to be setting the precedent. I've seen that. If you remember last week in Knoxville with Aguilar, that guy did not want to be the judge of record, so he denied what Joey Aguilar from playing with his 19th year at Tennessee or 8th or whatever it was. But I wouldn't take any of these things lightly. I know none of us are constitutional scholars, but one of these is going to upend and it could be Sorsby.
Yeah, it could be. And I do wonder, like you mentioned Aguilar looking for a 7th year. There was the kid at Virginia was looking for the 7th year. Chambliss got his 6th. And so you've seen this. There was a player out west that was looking for his 9th year. I do wonder if college athletics just put an age limit on it, just a hard and fast 23, whatever that number is. If you're over 23, you can't play. Does that hold up in a court of law? It feels like maybe it would.
It could, and listen, the commissioners, the people that run college athletics hate all this. I mean, they're rooting against their own schools in every case. In fact, as you know, in the Bediako case, that's the Alabama basketball player who went from the G League. The commissioner of the SEC sent an affidavit supporting the NCAA. So nobody really wants this other than the individuals, and the schools are helpless, Bo, because it's not even the athletic directors who are making these calls. It's the Cody Campbells of the world.
Yeah, and round and round we go. Round and round we go. Let me ask you this. I'll get you out of here on this one. A lot of folks over there talked about Ty Simpson as people that they were intrigued by. When you think, and look, this is not a great quarterback draft. Everybody knows it. You watched him play a lot. What do you make of him at the next level?
I think he's serviceable. I don't think he's elite. But he's the kind of quarterback that could sneak in as a backup. And how many times have we seen this story? I wouldn't go full board on it. I mean, I was talking to people 2 weeks into the season that thought he should be replaced at Alabama. I mean, he was off to a very shaky start. Remember the Florida State game, but he did the big thing for Ty is he did not really have much around him. He had a terrible offensive line, short of one player. He had no running game. So I think that the expectation is he would do better in an NFL system. But I'm not a big believer in him.
All right, buddy. Always a big believer in having you on. We love to do it every week. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, both. Talk next week.
All right, there you go. We'll hit Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. 74-57, Iowa defeats Ohio State. When things are tough for Bruce Thornton, it certainly seems as though that makes it tough for everything the way it went tonight.
Yeah, listen, don't want to discredit anything Iowa did. They played really well, but I thought we didn't do a good enough job executing on either side of the ball, and we got off to a great start. Ball was popping, guys were screening, guys were moving. We got a little stagnant there offensively when they were committing to the ball. So we tried to move some pieces around, and I thought the ball was traveling too much by the dribble tonight and not enough in the air. We've been really good and gotten a lot better at that. We took a step back in that regard today. That's why our offense struggled. That's why we had more turnovers than assists. Defensively, they didn't do anything we weren't anticipating. We just didn't execute some of their movement or coverage against some of their movement. And that's why they got, theirs. We let Sturts get to his right hand. We're trying to keep him going left. Just little things like that, guys, were disappointing. We didn't do a good enough job in. And, we've been much better. Love the way we fought down the stretch. But, it wasn't enough against a good team that had it rolling.
All right, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. Basketball is full of challenging shots, and life can be too. With Encova, you don't have to do it alone. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
74-57 the final. Iowa defeats Ohio State. Jake, what kind of handicap is it not having Tilly tonight?
It hurt offensively, certainly, because he's another playmaker with size. So if you commit to the ball screen, it opens up things behind it where you have the ball in a playmaker's hands. But, again, I thought Yvonne did some good things. I liked Amari's aggressiveness. Got to be a little more efficient around the rim and take care of the ball. But we had too many turnovers because we were in one-on-one situations. We didn't trust the pass enough against their pressure. This was more pressure than we've seen recently. But we've handled it better this year, guys. We gotta handle it better than we did tonight.
It's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, with more on the way, including the all-new RAV4. Totally redesigned to be more capable. Totally hybrid to fit your lifestyle. With multiple drivetrain options, so you can maximize your weekend adventures or your fuel efficiency. And these new RAV4s are coming soon. Contact your Toyota dealer for arrival timing. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pat Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pat to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pat Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Thursday edition. Hit it.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Washington's head football coach, Jedd Fisch, was a guest on Ari Wasserman's podcast earlier this week. And he was asked about DeMond Williams and that portal drama from back in January.
In this situation, we didn't have anyone go in the portal and come back. I would say that I'm pretty adamant about, you make a decision. If you want to leave, you leave. But it's also becoming more and more like professional football, where there's times that players enter free agency and they then look and then come back and re-sign with their team. So it's not a rule that I have. It's just most of the time, if you enter the portal, we don't really believe that, you're going to come back. On the same token, in DeMond's case, he didn't enter the portal. Mm-hmm. There was a conversation or an Instagram post that indicated that he was considering entering the portal, and that never happened. And so we didn't even have to worry about it. When he came back, he talked to our team, and we had some great private conversations that will remain private. But, DeMond, as he said a couple of weeks ago, he goes, I'm 19. I received some good advice. I received some bad advice. And in the end, the best advice was to return to University of Washington and lead this team for another year. And that's what we're most excited about.
Thing or not a thing?
How long do you think he worked with Washington PR to concoct that story?
Weeks.
Yeah. Heavy lifting.
I think since that Instagram announcement was made, Fisch and UW PR figured out, all right, how do we massage this for when it does come back to us?
How do we spin this? Because that was incredible. That was George Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it. That was incredible.
This is not a thing because, as you just mentioned, it is all 100% bogus.
Utter nonsense.
He didn't enter the portal probably because Washington didn't put him in there. And I think Washington has to put him in the portal for him to go in the portal. We don't want, you make a decision, we don't want people leaving and then coming back unless you're our starting quarterback. Yeah. And then
we'll have a different rule.
Make an exception for you. And I'm still not convinced, and I don't believe that any of this had anything to do with you owe this amount of money or we're not going to. Dante Moore said, I'm coming back to Oregon. And DeMond Williams said, well, I'm not going to start there. So the grass isn't greener anymore. Hey, Jedd Fisch, I will be your starting quarterback after all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is very, very exactly how it played out. I also think, in talking to folks out there, I think the Big Ten was willing to step in and say, hey, we're going to throw some weight around too.
They couldn't afford to lose that fight.
No. You can't have him transferring to Oregon from Washington. I mean, you can't have it. So I think all of those factors led to it, but that's a hell of a story he spun.
I mean, where was the Big Ten for Wisconsin when their cornerback just said, see, I don't care?
The only thing I don't know about So that the difference there, corner versus quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's part of it. Face versus
A position,
not.
the position.
Yeah, I think that, and then probably the monetary give on the Damon Williams far less.
And that
it's a good point out of you, but that it also speaks to just how chaotic it is that you can't even have rules apply to one situation that feels exactly like another.
That's also why I feel that was all about Dante Moore coming back. Because
could have been a lot of that. Yeah,
it doesn't matter if Damon Williams wanted to go; he was going. Just say, "Hey, see you later."
Reporters caught up with San Jose Sharks center Macklin Celebrini and asked him about accepting silver medals following Team Canada's gold medal loss this past Sunday.
Macklin, do you have any empathy for the United States? Haven't won since 1980, Miracle on Ice, so it's a lot of excitement here in the United States that happened at your expense.
No, I mean, no.
Thing or not a thing.
That's one of those ones where what he's going for versus what was like. Why? I don't think he yet knows what empathy means. Why would Macklin Celebrini have empathy for the United States? They won. Why would he have empathy for the team that won? And obviously he's looking for the clip, because what do you expect a guy from Team Canada to say? Oh yeah, man. Thank God we lost. United States got that gold. I'm really happy. Come on. Like, what do you want him to? I mean, that was a blood feud. USA and Canada on the ice. Like, no, I don't expect him to. I don't expect him to have any other answer, and I expect the person who asked the question got the exact answer he was hoping for.
Do you remember last week when we played the audio of Mick Cronin?
Yeah.
And he gave that sports reporter journalist...
You raising your voice at me?
The award for the dumbest question ever asked. Like, what are we doing? The dude's heartbroken. He wanted to win a gold medal. He just won silver. And the team that beat him in overtime, well, they hadn't won in 46 years. Do you have any empathy? No, I wanted to win. I mean, what are we doing? Come on. We got to be better than that.
Yeah.
I expect that kind of question at like Super Bowl media day, where all kinds of forms of walks of life media just come in and converge in one spot. And you get the craziest questions you've ever heard. Like, that's what that seems like to me.
Yeah.
We talked about Team USA in the last couple of days for the men's hockey team appearing in the State of the Union. They partied in Miami celebrating that gold medal win. Pat McAfee reportedly paid for the U.S. men's hockey team's bar tab. Was at a club in Miami. They went through $150,000 in champagne, tequila, and vodka. Thing or not a thing?
That's not as hard as you would think.
It feels low, that number.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot, but I mean, my guess is like a premium vodka in one of those
for a nightclub in Miami, right?
Table service situations could be $700 or $800. Could it be? So when you start doing that, you can get to $150,000 pretty quick if you're doing $1,000 a bottle on a lot of that stuff. What I do think is really fascinating, and I thought about this when McAfee would pay for the kicks, is how much money. Obviously, he does very, very well for himself. But he is comfortable giving away millions of dollars for kind of nonsensical things. Like some kid makes a kick and he gets $500 million on his fourth attempt, and that's value to him to make like game day better. Like it's crazy how much money he just gives away. And then it's not lost on me the idea of like, what is the average salary of the Team USA player? My guess is it's $6-7 million, something like that, $5-6 million. And he's writing the check for like their drinks. He's got a lot of money. He likes giving it away.
Well, much like you, Uncle Bo, I'm sure $150,000 to Pat McAfee is like $5 to Reese and I. So
it's in the seat cushion.
No big deal, right? Yeah, I just found that driving from Indianapolis last night, cleaning out my car. That's a really cool thing for Pat McAfee to do for those guys. And Bo, we were talking about that this morning, Reese and I. Like, probably one of those bottles of champagne is probably a couple grand.
Worth an automobile.
Most of it probably wasn't getting drank. Was probably getting just sprayed everywhere, all over the club in the attempts of a good time. So
I have been to a New Year's Eve party at Nikki Beach on South Beach. I've been there.
I think I heard a little bit of this story once.
Yeah, it was Junior Seau was there. It was crazy. But Bob just texted me. Nikki Beach, there's one in St. Bart's where he just was for the Buckeye cruise. Champagne at Nikki Beach in St. Bart's was between 20 and 50K.
Again, an automobile.
Woo. So, there's how you get to 150 on a bar tab.
Living right.
Yeah. Jeez.
I just saw this, and I'll ask it. We might not have time to get both your guys' thoughts on it, but Jordan Schultz, who covers the NFL and gets in fights at Starbucks, said in talking to teams in the quarterback market, there's a strong belief former Saints quarterback Derek Carr is very serious about unretiring and returning to the NFL in 2026. Carr's rights belong to the Saints, but teams with winning aspirations have real interest in the four-time Pro Bowler. Thing or not a thing?
I'm going to tell you what. I think it could be a thing, and it's something that we're going to get to coming up next in regard to what we learned at the NFL Scouting Combine. And the number one topic of conversation is what happens with all these quarterbacks. Derek Carr could continue to muddy those waters if he becomes somebody that is available. But then you say, okay, where? Find me the spot. Those are the things that are going to be tricky. Get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LAUGH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week I was on the road visiting a recruit, and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road, and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name. And I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180, and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual, I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant, and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore, and I really wasn't excited about it. And I just kind of stopped wanting it, and that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance, and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on, and I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
So let's talk price, Wilson.
Let's talk about the price, Bob.
I hear it a lot. Leslie, aren't Pella windows a bit more expensive?
The actual retail price is.
But we're not. We've got 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home. All are Pella Elite.
Oh, so when I get on the show, I'm going to have to bid lower. That'll come in super handy someday.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time in 3 weeks, we got Blue Jackets hockey in our lives. CBJ skate in Boston against the Bruins tonight at 7. You can hear that game on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. Elvis Merzlikins gets the nod in net. Zach Werenski will not have a minutes restriction. Jackets entered the Olympic break on a 7-game winning streak and sit 4 points out of a playoff spot. CBJ will be back on home ice Saturday hosting the Islanders. NFL scouting combine continues in Indianapolis. Buckeye corner Davison Igbinosin says he'll do on-field drills for defensive backs on Friday. Arvell Reese is doing defensive line and linebacker drills later today. In college hoops, Ohio State lost at Iowa last night, 74-57. Buckeyes 17-11 overall, 9-8 in conference play. They'll host number 8 Purdue Sunday at 1:30. This update is sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Thursday edition of the program. A little bit of Shelley time coming up in about 29 minutes from now. NFL Scouting Combine continuing over in Indianapolis today and throughout the rest of the week. Throughout the weekend, most of the on-field testing stuff will take place starting tonight, and then they will get into that's your made-for-TV portion of the combine. Most of the top guys, although I did see, obviously, Arvell is going to do a lot of things, as Reese mentioned in the updates, that he's going to do some linebacker stuff, some edge stuff, so get a little bit of work done there. Most of the top guys are doing less and less when it comes to the on-field stuff, just because there's not a lot of juice to be squeezed. And so they sit it out. And the one thing that is really valuable over there is, and this is from an NFL team's perspective, there's two things. Number one, medical. You healthy. You hiding something. Then two is those meetings, right? But even, I was talking to Andrew Barry about this, like, I'm not going to hold it against a kid if we're meeting at 11:20 at night and you've been poked and prodded all day, and you've met with 14 NFL teams, and we're the 15th.
It's the absurdity of this whole thing.
It is. Really, if you could just do the medical, that's probably the most valuable thing for the prospects. I do think if you are a non-blue chip prospect, if you are a day 3 guy, 4th, 5th, 6th round, or if you're, potentially an undrafted free agent, those guys can make hay. Those guys can do it. I think if there's a bunch of quarterbacks like there was in the Baker, Josh Allen, Rosen, Darnold year. Lamar was in that draft. Baker had an opportunity to go over there and grab the number 1 position by the throat, and he did it. He had momentum coming out of it. I'm the guy to turn around Cleveland. I'm going to throw. I'm going to do those things. That's how he ends up being number 1 overall. It was between him and Josh Allen for John Dorsey on that pick. And they just really believed in Baker's leadership and accuracy, and that's the way that one played out. So there is that where there is some value. But the real value for NFL teams is it's just tampering.
It's a chance to get together and do it without having to put it on an email or a text.
It's just tampering. It's what it is. It is conversations that are had about players currently in the NFL and their availability. That's what it is. So you mentioned Derek Carr. You had that at the end of Thing or Not a Thing, and that he could potentially be
coming back.
He could be coming back, and obviously the Saints, they really like Tyler Shuck, and so they're if there's value for Derek Carr, that would be a massive boost to the Saints. I mean, they get a draftable asset in return for him. Now, I don't know what the cost of that would be, but how old is he? Is he 32, 34?
I was going to say 32 or 33.
Early to mid-30s?
Yeah, he's 34.
Okay, so he's mid-30s, so he definitely has enough in the tank where he could play 3 or 4 more years. And this is why it's kind of a perfect storm for him, and I'm guessing why he's saying
he'll be 35 once the new league year begins.
Yeah, so this is why you say, well, I understand why he's willing to have those conversations. This is not a good quarterback draft. There are 2 spots, and I got this from a bunch of people over there. There are 2 spots that he would have interest in, I'm certain. I think Aaron Rodgers might have interest in. Certainly Kyler Murray would be at the top of his list, and those spots are Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Minnesota's number one by 100 miles. Everybody's sitting there going, well, okay, are you really going to go with JJ? Because if not...
I mean, it cost the general manager his job in Minnesota. So don't we feel like the writing's on the wall with that as to they're not necessarily jettisoning J.J. McCarthy, but they're going to bring in someone that they will want to compete and probably take the job?
I think that's a facet. So I know Kwesi because he was in the building in
Now
Berea.
he's with San Francisco?
Now he's back there. The Browns had hired him from San Francisco, and then he went to the Browns. He was there for a little more than a year, and then he ended up being the general manager in Minnesota. That's the spot, though. That's the spot. If you're Derek Carr, that's the spot. If you're Kyler, I mean, like for Kyler, that's all of it. Yeah. And I do think that this was the other thing. There is a drop off. The league views Kyler on a much different plane than even that views Malik Willis, or even that it views Mac Jones, or I don't know about Carr. That conversation didn't take place, but everybody knows that Tua is going to be available. Everybody knows that Kyler's going to be available. Obviously, Willis is a free agent. Everybody believes Mac Jones is available for the right price. But kind of the consensus was, let's not forget that we have seen Kyler Murray do this in the league at a high level. We've seen him throw for nearly 4,000 yards. We've seen him 2-to-1 touchdown interception. We've seen him run for 600 yards. We know he's a weapon. We know he probably doesn't love football. That's kind of known that he doesn't love football, but also he was the number one pick in the draft for a reason. So much like I think people forget this about Darnold, remember Darnold was a top 4 pick. So the pound of clay at the very beginning of this, that's where you get drafted and how you get drafted, that was always there for Sam Darnold, and it's there for Kyler. So that will be the first domino. I do think that he's going to be released. I think it's more likely that he's released than he's traded. I think trading him is really difficult. So I think they're going to have to eat a lot of salary, and then he will become the number one kind of guy to go get.
I was about to say for Arizona, like they're eating that cap.
Yeah.
It feels like they're drafting 3rd overall. So this is a year where they just maybe take a step back and put themselves into the quarterback race for 2027.
You can't believe how often that was talked about.
I bet that was, if not the most often used phrase, quarterback 20, something, quarterback 2027.
Yeah.
Like you can't, and it does fly in the face to me of logic where you're scheming for 1 year and you're just throwing another year away. But that does feel like some teams are going that path.
You had 10 new coaching hires. All of those guys have a little bit of grace period. You know, they all do.
Yeah. They all got 5-year deals, right?
Yeah, like to me, for Arizona, the one that would make sense would be Mac Jones. I mean, LaFleur's going to run a similar situation that they're running in San Francisco. Similar
everything.
Scheme.
Terminology. Yeah.
Mac thrived with Kyle last year in the limited duty that he had.
Marv would love Mac Jones.
Marv's available. Marv's available. You can have Marv.
What do you think it would take?
Well, that's the multi-million dollar
pick
question.
In the draft?
Oh, no. It won't take that.
I got a team that could use a first-round contract wide receiver.
How about the number 24 pick in the draft?
I'll give you 24.
Not going to take that either.
Oh, my God.
Give me Marvin Harrison over Mariota.
Hold on. What? Okay.
I'm not saying that it's going to. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think you could get Marv for a 2.
We are 2 hours and 9 minutes and 8 minutes into this show.
I think you could have him for a 2.
And you just now dropped this Marv bomb.
The 39th overall pick can be yours, Arizona, for Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think there's a real chance that's where you're at. Yeah. I mean, he's not as available. I mean, Kyler's gone.
Well, yeah, that's a no.
Gone. But
I say Marv.
No, I think you can. I think people in Arizona don't understand why it hasn't gone better. And they're looking. We have to be honest about it too. It hasn't gone well. It's a little bit of
look in the mirror for both parties.
And we have to be like, why has this not gone better?
If you're getting rid of Kyler, why wouldn't you want to try him with a new guy? Because he did have a little bit of success with Jacoby Brissett.
Minimal. So, I don't think he had a single 100-yard season last year.
Game. That just blows my mind because...
I'm here for it.
he was the number 4 pick in the draft, and 2 years later, you're going to give him up for a second-round pick? I mean, that's the biggest thing to come out of the combine to me that I've heard.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you can. I mean, Marvin, in his career in Arizona in 2 years, only has 2 games of over 100 yards. And, some of the conversation over there with him, and this is hard for us to hear because it's not what we saw here, but, is he hungry? Does he have the fight? And that was something that was never in doubt here.
Yeah.
Because we'd get the clips of him at the Woody, and you'd be like, working nonstop on the machines, all of that, and everything that we saw, it doesn't match up what's happening so far in Arizona.
I wonder if it's that, or he just realizes that they are doing things totally wrong over there, and he doesn't want to do it their way. He's like, I've always done it this way, and it's successful.
Could be.
I'm going to do it my way.
There was talk that maybe Olave could be available, which makes no sense with Shuck, that you'd want to get rid of a weapon there. A.J. Brown is available 100%.
The only thing I could see with Olave is the concussion history. How many more does he have in him?
Sure.
That's the one thing I could see there.
Yeah, so I think this is the other thing, and Nathan and I were talking about this. From our perspective, from a content perspective,
right?
You would want the combine and the free agency to be inverted. You would want free agency now, combine March. For the teams, they love it the way that it is because it's 2 kind of planes that are working the same. All right, here's our free agent plan. Here's our draft plan. It's all part of it. But from a content perspective, it would be very helpful if the combine were in March, because then you could say, okay, they've addressed these needs in free agency, so I know they don't have to address them here. Or they've acquired these players via trade. They're not going to draft a wide receiver at 6. But we don't have that data. So, take the Browns' perspective. It feels like it's tackle or receiver at 6. It feels like it's going to be very difficult to trade back and get assets because there isn't anybody that teams are going to want to go up to get. Usually people go up to get defensive ends and quarterbacks. There's one consensus quarterback in this draft, and that's Mendoza. And even the comps on him are Jared Goff ish. And by the way, everybody would sign up for Jared Goff right now. Like we all would sign up for Jared Goff right now. But there's a ceiling to that. Like there's not a Stafford ceiling on Mendoza, that he's more of like a Cousins Goff type guy. And so, by the way, again, we'd all take that. But so like the trade back is going to be difficult. So for example, from the Browns perspective, talking about them, let's use the Marvin Harrison conversation. Like if you go to Arizona and you say 39 and next year's 2, like does 2 2s get it done? And if Arizona's like,
I hope so.
If that got it done, and I'm just throwing stuff at the wall, like I'm not saying that this actually, but this is just throwing stuff at the wall.
Though, yeah.
So let's just say it's 2 2s. Well, now all of a sudden, you might not need to take a receiver at 6.
You can go BPA
now
at 6 or go tackle.
You go Caleb Downs, and then you go tackle at 20s. And you may already know what they've done in free agency. But now we don't have that, so it's just kind of floating around. It's the biggest difference.
Or you grab a receiver and totally transform your room.
You get the route man on a rookie deal without having to worry about an extension. I mean, he might want one, but you're like, no, man. We'll talk after the season.
He is. They may say otherwise, but it's abundantly clear that he is available for a.
That's crazy. And Bo, I don't know how much you mentioned how much movement for quarterbacks, but next year's draft has some players that sure seem generational. And Jeremiah and Colin Simmons Dylan Stewart, Leonard Moore, the cornerback from Notre Dame, Kawan Lacey, Cam Coleman, KJ Bolden. So, I don't know how much movement you're going to see. I don't know how much people are going to want to trade next year's picks.
They aren't. And that's why I think this draft is going to be relatively boring, because you're not going to see anybody give up their 1 next year. Nobody. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of trades. I think it's going to be a pretty quiet, kind of by the book first round. And that's why the more people you talk to over there, the other kind of consensus was, hey, don't make this so hard. Just take best player available at every spot, and then you have good players. And then you deal with the rest of it. I like that every
year for the team I like.
Yeah.
But
Marvin
it's
Harrison
hard when you draft for need.
Come to Cleveland, Marv.
Please, somebody.
Yeah, be nice. Be nice. Who knows? Going to be a very interesting offseason. All right, speaking of the NFL Combine, Mike Vrabel was over there, had some kind words to say about your new offensive coordinator. You'll hear that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Registration for the Fan 5K is now open. Join your favorite personalities June 20th at Otterbein University. The Fan 5K features a medal, t-shirt, free race photos, and a post-race party.
Get your spot today at 971therace.com.
Do you have an oak tree in your yard? The Ohio chapter International Society of Arboriculture is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices while preventing a fungal disease called oak wilt. They remind those who own and manage oak trees the best time to prune is November to early March. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified tree experts in Ohio. To find an ISA certified arborist in your area, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
This is National Public Schools Week, and Ohio's educators are proud to serve the 1.6 million public school students in our state. We know the power of public schools firsthand. We believe in the promise of providing high-quality education to everyone. To our public school educators, students, and families, thank you.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A beautiful day today with sunshine coming out in full force and temperatures getting in the mid to upper 40s. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the 20s. Could see some patchy fog going into Friday morning. Otherwise, expected to be very sunny throughout the day and mild as highs soar into the mid to upper 50s with breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody. Work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
The other thing you get with the NFL Scouting Combine is availability. Every coach and every GM that goes. Now, the Rams never go. Their whole operation doesn't go. McVay doesn't go. Les doesn't. None of them go.
I can't blame them.
Yeah, they're like, we're good. We don't need to.
What Paul said, Indianapolis in February, no thanks. I get it.
Indianapolis anytime, no thanks.
Well, yeah.
Even like for the 49ers, like John Lynch went, but Kyle didn't go. So there is some of that happens. I don't think LaFleur goes with the Packers. I don't think he goes either. There's several of those guys who don't. Mike Vrabel was there, and he had his availability coming off an incredible first season where they played in the Super Bowl, coming up just short, but winning the AFC. A quarterback who finished runner-up for the MVP. Of course, Mike Vrabel has some experience with our new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, and was asked about Arthur Smith's coaching style and how it will apply here.
I think Arthur's got a physicality to him, a toughness to him that he wants to put onto the football field offensively. He's creative enough. He's worked with a number of different players that I think they enjoy some of the wrinkles that he has. I think he's got some core concepts that he enjoys. And he's always been an aggressive play caller.
In terms of the fit, here's Mike on that.
So for all the Ohio State fans, I guess we have somebody to complain to if they don't score 50 points a game like every other Buckeye fan does. So I'm excited for him to be in Columbus. Obviously, that place means a lot to me personally and my family. So having gone there and lived there and support him.
That's a great backhanded compliment.
He knows.
He knows.
He gets it.
Complaining about not scoring 50 like every other Buckeye fan. We're getting close. When does spring practice start? Next week?
Yeah, I believe it's
Gotta
the
be,
first
right?
week of March.
First full week of March.
Spring game's April 18th. So.
Yeah. Be here before we know it and get a look
Thank God, I'm done with the winter.
Dude. When I drove.
You had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just teed me up. So Indy and weather all in one show. I drove over there Monday, and it was on the heels of getting back from California and kind of a decent little warm up. And then I drove in a blizzard.
You got it all.
And then I'm like, and then you start heading there and you just get hit again with more blizzard.
Well, you guys didn't even have, the East Coast contingent trying to get to Indianapolis.
So it's funny you say that. The Giants didn't make it.
Yeah.
He didn't make it. I was talking to Vic Carucci, longtime NFL writer. He writes in Buffalo now. Great guy. I was talking to him, and a lot of folks were like, Siciliano had this too, like, I got to get out Saturday. And so a lot of people flew to Indy Saturday, moved up their reservations a day so that they could get there Saturday, because for a lot of people, they couldn't get out. The Jets drove to Indy because they couldn't get. I'm not talking about owners and GMs. I'm talking about like content. They're on private jets,
coaches,
but
scouts.
Yeah, they're all on PJs.
Sure.
But in terms of like content, a lot of the scouts, a lot of those, they drove because they just looked at it and go, we can't get out. So we drove over.
I remember yesterday listening to Rothman and Ice. They had Shefty on. He was boarding a plane. And they were asking him combine questions. He's like, I'm hoping to get to Indy to figure that out. That's your bud.
Yeah, because I didn't see him. He comes a little later in the week. He must come.
Figured they just chopper him in.
Yeah.
Right to wherever Peyton Manning's statue is, you land the helicopter and let Shefty.
It is such a ridiculous event.
Yes.
So ridiculous. There's big value in it for the reasons that I said previously. But let me just tell you this. Having been gone over there now for 10 years at various points, you can totally see how a Jordan Schultz, Ian Rappaport, how that happens.
That's the 1-year anniversary, right?
It is.
This week?
Yeah. And you
scuffle at Starbucks.
You could see it. I could see it. Now, Schultz would maul him. Size difference, one's a flyweight, the other one's middleweight. I mean, they're not. But you can see it because it is so territorial. It is so Kyle Brandt of Good Morning Football does a great bit.
Would not fight him.
No, not at all. He does a great bit about the combine, about the average conversation there, where it's like, when did you get in? Where are you staying? Have you been to Elmo's yet? Like, those are the things that are said.
The easiest small talk in the world.
Easiest small talk. All the while, most of the people you talk to over there, of which I have no patience for this, they're looking over your shoulder to see if there's somebody more important that they should be talking to. That's the combine. And here's a shrimp cocktail. That's the combine. That's what it is. It's that. And so I totally see how the Rappaport thing happened. I mean, it made sense to me.
Even with the construction, do they still let Jerry park his giant bus down there?
It's amazing. I meant to take a photo of it. So, Jason Gibbs, who is he's the producer of Cleveland Browns Daily, and then he's the producer of the Browns on the radio network, of which we're a partner. He has been on it. He did, like, late at night, coming out of a steak and shake. He did get on the bus. Now, I don't know how long he was on it, but he was on it. And it was there. It's always parked right at the Marriott, right in downtown Indy. It's parked right there every time. The Cowboys stay at the Marriott.
Him and Mark Sanchez hop on there.
That was a year ago, too, wasn't it?
That was also in Indy.
But that wasn't for this.
That wasn't for... He was calling a Colts game there.
It was a Colts game.
Because remember, they had to fly Brady Quinn in he was calling a college game.
Yeah.
They, like, flew him back and forth, and he was driving, like, taking notes. Well, he was. Somebody else was driving.
Yeah.
But.
Well, the other thing is you have, like, all of the team doctors are there. And then they like, Dr. Voos, who's the Browns team doctor, he was there, and he was, like, the chair of, like, that group. Like, he was the boss of that group. And as we were going into Elmo's on Tuesday night, he was in like a private room at Elmo's with all the team docs, and he was, like, knighting the next guy to be the next boss of it. So you have that stuff. You have every assistant coach, like, some of them work the drills.
Yeah.
And they're working the drills and how all of that works. Most of the owners are there. Obviously, most of the coach, all the GMs, all the scouts are there. And then the entirety of NFL media, which is massive now. I mean, when I first started going over there, it was truly a radio row. It was radio stations that were over there, and then you'd see television and stuff. Now every NFL team has complete content teams. Every NFL team was set up. 32 desks set up in there.
When was the first year you started working for an NFL team?
2018. Baker's rookie year.
How much has the content team thing multiplied by for NFL teams? Yeah,
100-fold. I mean, when I first started doing the Brown stuff, we were the only, like, daily one, like, every day on, and now there's more and more that are doing that, and those content teams have grown massively. I mean, it's a massive room. It's bigger than our building here. That's just filled, one team after another, and then you also have all the other stuff. I mean, you have the PFF content people. By the way, how about that sale? You guys see that?
No.
The valuation on that PFF got sold.
No, I did not see
valuation of
that.
$130 million.
Isn't that Chris Collinsworth? Doesn't he own a chunk of that?
Yeah, he was the money behind it. Now a lot of those
Good
guys have
job
moved
out of
on.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because teams, all the 32 teams, and even colleges use that.
They do, or they use similar.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of people that do that stuff, but PFF is one that's definitely used a lot. So they're there.
So I remember being Browns radio adjacent in 2016, and it wasn't near the content machine. Things like PFF was around, but it wasn't like it was. No 33rd team, like, none of those things are really there. And I was just thinking in the back of my head, like, how much that's grown, and even in the last 5 years. I mean, it's a whole economy.
It is. And what's really crazy is, like yesterday we had the Ohio State guys' availability. So, you know, like, I saw Nicole and Adam were there. I saw they were there from Channel 10. But then you also have, like, our whole beat is there. Like, the Buckeye beat is all there. And then you have all the NFL teams. All of their beats are there. So, like, these scrums are massive. It's almost like a Super Bowl scrum to interview Sonny Styles. There was 100 people around him.
Caleb Downs had something similar this morning.
Yeah.
It was like everybody, and then you get the NFL interest on top of the Buckeye beat.
Yeah.
I wonder if the NFL people, if that annoys them at all, because the Buckeye beat's over there and they're asking questions.
It's attention to the product. I can't imagine.
Oh, the beat is people covering the NFL have no time to see the college people over there.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to hear questions about Matt Patricia.
You
and
think
how
anybody
he prepared you?
Anybody in the beat in Boston wants to hear about Arthur Smith?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
No,
I figured that was not well looked upon.
No, they're like, what are you guys doing here? It's our time now. Yeah. What a beautiful mess it is. Shelley time in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you a question. Has the insulation in your windows failed? How would you know? Well, one way to tell is if you're running the heat this winter way more often than you normally do. That could be a sign that that insulation has failed and you need new windows. Talk to the pros at Window Nation to find out what they can do to help. In fact, they've got a great deal going now. You can get new windows with big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. And as an added benefit, you'll get an extra 10% off for the rest of the month. Window Nation's windows use top quality materials and seals along with insulated frames. They're so incredibly energy efficient, you actually save money on your utility bills. And they're backed with a lifetime warranty, so you won't have to live with broken windows again. Take advantage of Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale and get an extra 10% off for the rest of the month. You already know. Go to windownation.com now for a free consultation. That's windownation.com.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The Gloves. Shelley time.
Oh, hi, old buddy.
OH.
All right, this is what I want. I want to know the real truth. What was your experience like watching the gold medal game?
I'm going to tell you right now. I've been a fan of events. I've been a fan of when I was 9 years old. I was a fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yep.
And I'm now 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the edge of my seat, locked in by myself, watching this game, the gold medal game, like it was the only thing that mattered. And I was jumping and screaming and yelling. And then I caught myself a couple times and like, what am I doing? So then I got out and went and watched with some friends. And it was like, wow, amazing. I've never been that passionate for a sporting event in my life.
That does not surprise me. And then it delivered, Jode. I mean, the game was unbelievable.
Well,
I mean, for our perspective,
Yes,
I know for our perspective, it delivered. I certainly understand the
100%.
Canadian side of it, though, too.
It landed, buddy. It landed for hockey. And Zach Werenski, this is the first time. So I'm sitting at TD Garden here in Boston.
Yep.
They just started doing the line rushes. And Zach Werenski, the gold medalist, is on the ice for the Blue Jackets. I'm so amped up for this part of the season that's coming up right now. And, like, for Zach to go over there, he only played 12 minutes and 10 seconds in that last game.
I was going to bring that
But
up.
he made the biggest play at the biggest moment. And, yeah, it's just incredible. Did you ask me a question? I don't remember if you asked me a question.
No. The point was that I'm glad you brought the Werenski minutes up because that's the thing that as I was watching a lot of this, but especially when it was USA Canada, you'd look on the bench and you'd be like, he can't even get on the ice.
Yeah.
Like, and not just him, but like even on the Team Canada bench, I'd look at the forwards. I'm like, yeah, they're not good enough to get on. And it's like, well,
Ryan
good
Hart
Lord.
played 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Like, no, I know. It's incredible. They have 13 forwards. But that's the depth of the U.S. defenseman. And think about the luxury of having Zach Werenski tucked away.
Yeah.
Just tucked away, right? So for him, I'm sure he wanted to be out there more, but, whatever. He's got gold hanging around his neck. He's got 2 now because of World Championships.
Yeah.
Team USA won for the first time in 94 years when he went there in the spring. Boy, I tell you, there's a charge around the National Hockey League. I did a game last night in Tampa. They honored they had 11 members attend the Olympics. And I don't know if you saw Jack Hughes with the microphone in New Jersey last night.
Yes.
Acknowledging his crowd. That was incredible. These guys.
21 million people watch, Jode. I mean, that's a stupid number. I knew it'd be big. That's bigger than I thought, though.
Yeah, that is massive, isn't it?
Even the final play that Zach's a part of. If you are Team Canada.
He made the whole play.
Okay, you're right. Think of who's on the ice for Canada.
Okay, and McDavid, I'm going to tell you, hindsight's 50-50, but he tried to do it himself.
Yeah.
And then Zach made a backhand pass, which I think put him in chill, like he had chills when that puck came off his stick because it's to the middle of the ice and there's McCarr.
Yep.
But Jack Hughes makes an unbelievable poke play, and then Zach has skated harder than I think I've ever seen him skate. And he made a play on Nathan McKinnon.
That's right.
Just shrugged him off.
Just shoved him away. Second best player in the world. Go sit down.
And gave it to the guy who just lost his front tooth. I mean, it's amazing.
The McCarr play, the play, I watched it frame by frame probably a dozen times. I slowed it down to watch it frame by frame. The Hughes poke that allows, it's a millisecond. It's a play that McCarr pinches and makes so often, and it's a millisecond, and everything changes in a millisecond.
It does.
Incredible.
He just got that stick down there. I mean, it was like, it was the thinnest margin. And McCarr, he hesitated for a fraction of a second when he jumped up there. I don't think he could believe that puck was coming his way, and it was a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just one of those things where, you know, and then you could feel it. I could feel it from Zach. We've seen Zach so much. When he busted up the wing and McKinnon hesitated for a hair of a second, it was just like, he doesn't know what he's got here in his lap. It's Zach Werenski.
Yeah.
He's not just going to play the puck. He's going to push off the puck. It was tremendous.
It was, and we were all in the middle of it. I mean, which was so cool for the organization. Obviously, Zach making the play, but also obviously the Gaudreaus and seeing Torts on the side and all of that stuff. And now I was listening to you guys on Inside Edge last night with Adam Fantilli.
Good. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was really good, and I thought your conversation with Adam was great. I loved your question to him about, like, do you aspire to be in this one time? He's like, absolutely. He had that great story. He texted his dad, and he was like, yes, I want to be a part of this. And that is something that I want to be a part of it. That's the thing that I think is so critical for the NHL right now, because this is a sprint for the next 6 weeks to the Stanley Cup. And there's 21 million people in North America who watch that, who say, man, where can I find more of it? Well, where you can find it is in this league now. And that's so critical that the league kind of is set up this way. My heart breaks for Sidney Crosby and the Pens and all of that. That just all sucks. But at the same time, like the league, there's a tremendous benefit to what happened.
Yeah. No, and, you know, we've been talking about the grassroots level, and you see a bunch of celebrities and well-known personalities just having their comments and feeling their feelings about the moment of winning the gold for U.S., and you're like, whoa, you know, these people weren't even on hockey radar.
No.
You know? And now, but you're right. Think about the players as well, like Sam Phillies, who now, you're inspiring 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds and youth hockey players, and the next generation coming up will never forget that moment. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, but the guys who are in the NHL, they're inspired too, and there's an infectious swagger that comes with having a teammate that's played on that level and has made an impact in that game. So it'll permeate, hopefully, for a while. And the NHL is in a great spot. They nailed it last year with the Four Nations. No one knew what to expect. Are the guys going to take it serious? Oh, pretty serious. Let's fight out the opening draw a few times.
Yep.
Right? And then you've got a goalie fighting an outdoor game where Vasilevsky fought Sergei Bobrovsky.
That's right.
I mean, everyone's that peaked at. And now you've got this stage that, again, was inches away from not happening. Both teams went to overtime in their previous in the semi round, right?
Yeah.
But then the matchup happens and the drama was just great to see.
It was. And so now for this team, and we heard Bones was on with our guys this morning talking about, like, Zach told him, I'm ready to go. Our guys are on the ice. What do we expect? Lines, pairings? What's this going to look like tonight?
I didn't pay close attention to the lines, but let me pull them up here. It looks like Elvis Merzlikins gets a start. Let's start with that.
Yep. That's true.
So you got Elvis Merzlikins with the start here, which is good. I like the way Bonus is leaning into Elvis. I think it's important here for Elvis and the team. He's coming off an Olympic appearance.
Yep.
I think that's a good play. So here are the lines.
Okay.
It's going to be Marchment, Fantilli, Marchenko. So Marchment, that acquisition made about a month and a half ago now. He had some injuries, but he's back, and he brings that personality in the top line. Voronkov is going to play with Monahan and Johnson. So Kent Johnson still on that right wing on that line. And then, of course, we know Sillinger, Coyle, Olivier. I'm going to tell you right now, Tanner Janot and Kastelik are two fourth-liners who will fight for the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
He might get into one here tonight in Boston.
Little scrap.
And the fourth line is centered by our captain, Boone Jenner, with Miles Wood, who is back and healthy, and Lundestrom pulls into that spot. So that's your forward lines.
That's okay. Well, I like the idea we could have a little scrap to look forward to. That's very important. You had a great question. I really liked Adam's answer to it as well in terms of how do you bottle a win streak? And he basically said you can't. You can't. And so you have to find a way to start a new one. And I thought he was very candid saying for us it was not the best time to stop playing, but they got to find a way to recapture that. What will you be looking for tonight? And you called a game last night. In terms of first game back, is it going to be, do you anticipate it being a little clunky?
I thought that last night, but the energy level for Tampa-Toronto was off the charts. It was the confidence in Tampa and the skill level of Kucherov was crazy. And I think that this team comes out the way they played, but with more energy. And I think there's excitement. They're going to get a hero's welcome here tonight.
Yep.
Zach's going to get a hero's welcome at home next game. I think they're ready to go. I think that this team is one that last year at the Four Nations break came out and plunked their way through and lost their playoff spot. From that, I think they learned from it. So to answer your question, tonight I expect not great execution, but I expect it to be a hard-fought game, exactly what they need. Because if you listen to Bonus, he talks about playing with bite, and he knows they have to bring it here tonight.
And then Saturday here, 6 o'clock, Islanders. That's an electric factory.
Big game.
Yep.
Islanders are ahead of them. Islanders going to be pushed out of the playoff spot, I think. I mean, Sorokin's played well. But it's a Metropolitan Division game. They could be 2 points out, 2 or 3 points out after Saturday night.
Welcoming Zach back. Come on. That's got all of it. That's got all of it.
It's the best time of year, and I don't know if I've been this charged up about this section of the season ever.
I think everybody is. I think everybody's got hockey fever, and the only prescription is games, and we got a bunch of them, including one tonight. By the way, the look on Nathan McKinnon's face when they handed him the stuffed animal, bottled for the American side of it, bottle that. Like, I just can't imagine the poor guy handed him the stuffy.
Well, he took it with grace, but he showed us exactly what he was thinking.
Yes, he did. He did. All right, buddy. Look forward to the call tonight, pal. It's good talking to you again. It's good to be back to playing some games that matter.
All right. I like your prescription, Doctor. Have a great day.
There he goes. A little bit of Shelley time on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Jackets and Bruins tonight. 3 things on a Thursday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This Buckeye Football Impact Report is brought to you locally by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Ohio State football Impact Report.
Safety Blaine Bradford comes to Ohio State following a standout career at Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he was the state's top safety in the 2026 class. Despite growing up in the backyard of LSU, where his brother Jacob played safety at last season, Bradford stuck to his word in being a Buckeye and playing for head coach Ryan Day.
Unbelievable. I can't tell you how excited I am. He's been amazing from the jump. I think he's a tremendous player. I think he has tremendous ability, but I also think he has leadership skills. He's got that look in his eye, that quiet confidence. Reminds me of some guys that we have back there right now, and I think he's going to have an impact day one when he gets in.
Bradford is one of 6 incoming freshman defensive backs for secondary and cornerbacks coach Tim Walton and safeties coach Matt Guerreri. This report brought to you by Safelite Auto Glass. This is Tyler Danberg on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through March 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on any new 26 Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models, with approved credit through TFS. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Working your way through that home projects list? More flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Call the Waterworks, trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll. It's sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. Asks, how much of the NFL Combine will you be watching over the next handful of days? Your options, as much as possible, a decent amount, little to none. 90% of you say little to none. 5% for the other options.
I actually think they were better off when they did this stuff during the day.
Yeah.
because when they did it during the day, you got guys like us who do this talking about it, and you had people watching on their computers or whatever. Like, it's one thing to have it on during the day when there's nothing else going on. It's another thing to try to get, like, primetime viewers from NBA, NHL, college basketball from actual games.
Yeah, I looked at just the combine schedules where they've got on-field workouts at 5, 6, 7 p.m., and I was thinking when I saw it at the beginning of this week, that's really weird. Now, to your point, I go, well, that makes sense if they're trying to catch prime time, but also good luck being the 5th or 6th option there. Because you talked about the sports, and there's also episodic television that people have been burning holes in DVRs for. I can speak from experience.
Yeah, you've got basketball back. You've got hockey back last night. And
trying to catch up on Game of Thrones.
I always find myself most of the time, if I'm watching the combine, it's on the weekend when I'm doing things around the house and I have it on in the background or whatnot. But yeah, I think that'd be, because if it was going on right now, I would have it on in here, taking a peek at it, seeing what's going on.
Yeah, same. All right, 3 things on a Thursday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
It's not often that I learn new things in Indianapolis. It's not often. I've been there a lot. It's well documented. I can't stand it. I learned something walking in to St. Elmo on Tuesday. And you say, well, Bo, St. Elmo, what's St. Elmo? It's St. Elmo's. No, it's actually St. Elmo. There's no S. On the sign, it's St. Elmo. Now, I've never heard anybody call it anything other than Elmo's or St. Elmo's. Probably from the movie.
That's what you do with
St. Elmo.
Kroger, Meyer.
Yeah.
Kroger's.
Myers.
Myers.
Yeah. Just add the S. Somebody added the S. Now, the crazy thing is, if you go on their website, it's St. Elmo's on the website.
Well, it's St. Elmo's website.
Right. They own the website. I guess that's how it works. It's possessive. They're actually grammatically correct over there. I will say this. I actually don't think the shrimp cocktail is overrated. I think it's a delicious shrimp cocktail. It's really spicy, but the shrimp are incredibly fresh and they're crispy. They're a delight. I just think the steaks, they don't know how to cook steaks. That's just where I'm at with them. Like, they don't understand temperature regulation. They have no idea what they're doing on that. But other than that, it's a pretty damn good experience.
So just resting on the overall experience, the ambiance, and the shrimp cocktail?
They're resting on you walking in going, I want a shrimp. Everybody gets a shrimp cocktail. It's $21.99. With your steak order, you either get tomato juice or navy bean soup, which is a hell of a choice. Those 2 options as the 2 options that come with it are wild.
So now this will be my first thing, because I don't think I'd walk in and just want a shrimp cocktail. If I'm there with somebody, maybe we share a shrimp cocktail. Because that's the thing I'm finding more and more when we go out is we're just sharing things.
Yes.
Less of us getting one entree and she gets another entree. We're just getting 2 or 3 entrees and just picking at it. Because now there's, especially for me, no shame in getting a to-go box.
No, and the other thing that's really fun about that is now you can try multiple things.
Yeah.
So I've seen people do this, like they'll order like a burger for the table and then cut it up and everybody gets a little bite. There's some wins there.
First thing for me, we've talked a lot about how fun Saturday night is going to be at Nationwide Arena, celebrating Zach Werenski's gold medal. Well, there's another gold medal in town that needs to be celebrated in hockey as well. And the women's ice hockey team at Ohio State is taking on St. Thomas this weekend in the WCHA first round. They'll be at the Ohio State ice rink Friday night. Is the first game of that series. Joy Dunn will be there, her first game back with the Buckeyes since her gold medal over in Milan Cortina as well. So I'm sure that'll be a fun night celebrating Joy Dunn as well.
Very, very good. Number 2 for me, I'll stay. These will all be Indiana themed. I'm going to try to do some positives. Many of you have probably driven over there, and you've maybe heard, the loyal ones have heard me talk about this before. But if you've ever thought to yourself, should I go stop at the Hoosiers gym? The answer to that is yes, you should. It's about 10 minutes off the freeway. Just build it into your trip. It is 100% worth it. It's about a half hour this side of Indy. You see the signs, certainly. Stop there. Skip the Uranus fudge. Stop at the Hoosiers place. That's the place you want to stop for the memories.
It does feel like you'd have to be a fudge guy. Like, you have to want to everywhere you go. Like, you saltwater taffy at the beach kind of guy. Like, if I'm seeing this fudge place, I'm going. There's nothing that's going to get me to stop off to go to fudge.
You go one time, you get the T-shirt that says the best fudge is in Uranus, and then
When are you going to wear that short? Are you mowing your lawn?
No. It's amazing. Right here, Reese, for the YouTube.
I'll go back to Indianapolis real quick. Davison Igbinosun spoke earlier this morning, talked about Jeremiah Smith, and this is an obvious thing that he was the toughest receiver he's ever had to guard. But from Igbinosun, quote, he walked into the building doing some things that we've never seen before, end quote.
Yeah, that said something.
Like, more like when he walked, he was beamed down.
We talked a lot about the how many people watched the gold medal game between the United States and Canada. Well, there's now specific market numbers out there, and Ohio had 4 of the top 15. Cleveland came in tied for 7th with 10.6. Dayton was tied for 9th with 10.4. Columbus was 12th with 9.8. In Cincinnati, number 15 with 9.3. So we were tuned in here at the Buckeye State.
That's pretty amazing, though, that Cleveland had more than us. That's interesting, that part of it. I'll have to think about that. Number 3 for me, I'll give Indianapolis this. It is convenient. You can stay at upwards of a dozen hotels that all have sky bridges to the convention center. As much as I grouse about it, it's pretty damn convenient once you're over
we
there.
have it on record. A nice thing you've said about the city of Indianapolis, and maybe next year we can get 2 things.
No, 1. Don't pressure.
Hey, let's see what happens. We did a little baseball in the show when you were gone.
Sad.
Guardians, since I proclaimed they would never lose a game in spring training, have not only lost 2 games, they've lost by combined runs scored 22-7. They lost yesterday to the Rangers 11-4. The earlier game on Tuesday, they lost to your Dodgers 11-3.
I leave town and you get pretty bold. Undefeated training camps.
My Cactus League prognostication is over.
It's over. You were so close, though. It was so close
right on
to
it.
making that happen.
It's really right on it.
Final thing for me, don't go anywhere. Rothman and Ice coming up next. They're going to talk some college hoops with Dan Dockich at 12:30. And then the Blue Jackets are back tonight, so Dave Metzold will join them at 2.
You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio Sports